Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Dr. Daintee Jones. I serve as apostle of the house that Dignity Ministries, and you have entered our virtual space where we are working on a 20 video series called Dignity Talks. And for this series, we are looking at communicating in relationships and learning more about each other. So this is our second video. If you haven't seen the first video of the series, it's questions 1 through 5. Today's video will be questions 6 through 10 of this set of cards. These cards are called 101 Conversation Starters, and they were written by Gary Chapman and Ramon Presson. And it's questions that were written for couples to learn more about each other, who are already together, already married, but it's also great for dating and for intrapersonal knowledge. So asking yourself these questions and giving yourself time to reflect upon who you are and practicing self-love and self-worth and self-valuing, okay? So let's get into it. We'll look at questions 6 through 10. And again, if you're like me and you like to write, you like to keep notes, we have a journal that you can purchase from Amazon. It's called Dignity Talks Journal. It has about 120 pages. They're lined pages where it says ask and answer. So you can write down the questions if you like, and then you can write down your answers. And it's on Amazon. If you enter my name into Amazon, Daintee Jones, that's Daintee Jones, or you can type in the word dignity. Now, instead of the letter Y, it has T. Why? Because we're spilling some relationship tea, if you will, but also each episode, I like to take a sip of tea. And I'll try to have a different teacup each time too. I collect teacups. I love teacups. And maybe one day God will let me start my tea party business over again. All right. So if you're into tea as well, go get your teacup. You can always stop the video and start again. I'll just take a sip. And I'm cheating. This is not tea. This is cocoa. You all. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you of the questions. They're my Google Doc. And I am, just a reminder, I am reading them in English and then in Spanish and then in French. I am practicing my Spanish and my French. And you all, I'm not perfect with the language, but practice makes perfect. So I wanted to take time to practice this with you. Oh, okay, I'm looking at the incorrect document. Hold on 1 second, you all, as I find the correct document. That was the one in Word, but I want the one that's in Google Docs. Almost there. And there we go. Okay. So questions 6 through 10. As you were growing up, what was unique about your family as compared to other families in your neighborhood and the families of your friends? A medida que crecía, ¿qué tenía de especial su familia en comparación con otras familias de su vecindario y las familias de sus amigos? And in French, en grandissant, quelle était la particularité de votre famille par rapport aux autres familles de votre quartier et aux familles de vos amis? Okay, so that's question number 6. Don't forget to write down your answers. Question number 7. What was your most serious physical injury as a child or a teen? ¿Cuál fue su lesión física más grave cuando era niño o adolescente? And in French, quelle a été votre blessure physique la plus grave lorsque vous étiez enfant ou adolescent? Let's move to question 8. What do you remember about learning to drive? What do you remember about learning to drive? Oh, you all, I forgot to put that in Spanish. Uh, okay. I don't know where my mind was, but I'm going to say it in French. And if I have to go ahead and use Google Translate during this video, we will do so. I have no shame in my game. Okay, no shame in my game. So in French, it's que retenez-vous de l'apprentissage de la conduite? All right, and what I'm going to do is just go to Google, search for Google Translate Spanish. Okay, great. And I'm going to grab my English sentence or question, copy it, put it into my text here, and I'm going to copy and paste and enter it in the order where it's supposed to go. Okay, it's pretty huge, but uh-oh, what did I just do, you all? Okay, and put in Spanish. Okay, so in Spanish, it's ¿Qué recuerdas de aprender a conducir? All right, that's question 8. Let's move to question 9. Okay, question 9. Can you recall visiting your parents' workplace? If so, describe it and how you felt when you went there. And in Spanish, ¿recuerdas haber visitado el lugar de trabajo de tus padres? Si es así, descríbelo y cómo te sentiste cuando fuiste allí. And then in French, it is vous souvenez vous d'avoir visité le lieu de travail de vos parents? Si oui, décrivez les ce que vous avez ressenti lorsque vous y étiez allé. All right. And then our last question, question 10. In English is complete this sentence. I'm sure my mom and dad wish I would. Okay, fill in that blank. And in Spanish, it's complete esta oración. Estoy seguro de que mi mamá y mi papá desearían que yo. And then in French, it's complete cette phrase. Okay, it might not be phrase, you all. Let me say it as phrase. Je suis sûr que ma mère et mon père aimeraient. No, I should look this one up, you all. That's love with love. I'm going to go with aimerait. You can check that. Que je le fasse. Yeah, I'm curious. Let's look up how to pronounce this version of to love or would love. So pronunciation in French, and aimeray. Okay, I was right. Aimeray. I wasn't that bad off. Aimeray. Perfect. Okay, so there are our 5 questions for this second of 20 series for this video series on Dignity Talks as we look at 101 conversation starters for couples. And again, if you're single, you can use this for yourself as well. And if you are dating, I wholeheartedly um, suggest that you use these questions and then some other questions that we'll go over in another series about questions to use particularly for dating, so that you might need to, let some people go on to their next blessing, right? I also recommend that you have a separate journal or a way of taking notes for each different person that you're dating, or befriending, right? You might just have friends. Everyone's not supposed to end up being a spouse, right? Each relationship has its own meaning, its own purpose. You might end up being business partners. You might end up building a church together. You might end up introducing this person to someone else with whom they truly fit and mesh. You just never know. This person may end up working for you. You don't know. So we don't have to throw people away. We just have to figure out where they would fit in our lives, and then help them to get to that platform to do God's business. Okay? Okay, that's what we can do, you all. All right. Well, I'm Dr. Daintee Jones, and I'm apostle of the house at Dignity Built Ministries, and I am truly enjoying spending this virtual time with you as we get to know more about ourselves and our loved ones. Until next week, we'll go over questions 11 through 15. All right? Blessings, blessings, blessings.